We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. With Maxwell Silverhammer. We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.
Oh, you sons of bitches.
Oh, man.
This is Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And we have Dave Powers with Objectivepersonality.com with us. Dave, thank you for joining us in our little hole in the wall on the internet here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, totally. Yeah, totally.
Let's go. Let's start with this, okay? Because I have this shit all half planned, like not real planned, like outline planned, whatever the fuck that means. So let's start with this. Let's start with how, if you guys recall, if you've listened, our previous listeners or new listeners who know, if you check out a previous episode, we talked about Dave's stuff and how I found his website. But I'll just recap that a little bit. I was getting back into personality stuff like Myers-Briggs. I was more of a Kiersey person, which is Please Understand Me. A different book, Gift Differing and Please Understand Me are two different kind of sects of the S-E-C-T-S.
Sexting? You're sexting?
That's not how I spell it.
Probably, or sucks. I think you probably spell it sucks. Of the cult of Myers-Briggs or whatever you call it, the pseudoscience level of that. So I got back into that and I was reading that and I really like his technique for that better in terms of that. If I'm like yelling too loud, let me know, guys. Hopefully not.
That sounds good.
You're fine, man. You're fine.
New mic for all y'all out there. So I'm looking into that. So I'm like, I'll go on YouTube because YouTube has all this stuff, and I find a bunch of people, like some really fun, like there's a lot of videos out there that make fun of people and stuff like that, or not make fun of, but make fun of the types, like 16 types on dates, and those are fun. So I stumble across your stuff. And first of all, you guys are cursing. You guys are talking lots of shit and just saying, hey, just being honest and being real about it. Okay, I got it. It says is being recorded. Yes, I got it. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you got a pop-up?
Yeah, I got a pop-up. Yeah, this meeting is being get the fuck out of here. Okay, anyway.
There was a voice recording too. I don't know if you heard that when I first started.
I did, man. That was.
I wonder if that motherfucker went across. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see about that. So I'm seeing this stuff, and the first thing that caught me were the diagrams. I'm like, ooh, diagrams. Like I love fucking seeing the TE, the four points of the diagram. And I'm starting to watch this stuff, and I realize, oh my God, this is like exactly what I'm looking for. So bottom line, me and Brett do a show, or Max do a show. God damn it, me and Max do a show. See, I broke my own rule.
You're
me
drunk
and Max,
ass.
I'm not yet. No. So me and Max do a show, and Max, of course, is like, hey, we'll get you on an interview. And I'm like, wait, hey, well, hold on just a second there. I don't know. We're just doing the show. So I like, fuck it. I sent it to him, and here we are. We're hanging out. So, Dave, thank you for joining us. How the hell did you get into typing first? So I'm sure you came into it with the MBTI model and all that shit too.
Yeah. I was interested in it really early on when I was like 20, 21. So way back in like 1999, we're all about the same age.
Oh, shit,
40s, Yeah. And, but it was fun. It was nice that there was somebody understood me, this kind of thing, you're kind of this lost kid. Nobody knows what you're going through. And here's some profile that kind of tells the world how awesome and unseen you are,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then from there, it was like, we got into sales, doing RC airplanes and stuff in early 2000s, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right in there. And we were still kind of using Myers-Briggs stuff for fun, for self-growth, for kind of understanding, everybody on the team or friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we just started using it a little bit for sales. We had a lot of ISTJs in the RC airplane community. And so they were very much, by the book builders, step-by-step kind of deal, Mm-hmm. And we definitely saw like one of these 16 Myers-Briggs archetype characters come to life. Like here were thousands of ISTJs, and they would all write emails very similar and have the same questions. And
you might want to. I was going to say too. You might want to break down the different Because some people might hear this.
No,
And, what's an ISTJ? What's
Max, we got that covered, dude. Don't worry, we're going into the functions, all that shit later on. It's all covered, man. So, but I'm just trying to get a general idea. Also, I wanted to ask you. This is also not just you, Dave. If you go to their videos, you'll see Shan. She's the laughing one, while Dave is the smirky guy. Obviously. But their combo together is one of the reasons why they're so cool, because they both handle it in different ways and handle it from different perspectives. Like one of Shan's things is banging blocks together. That's one of her big sayings. Like, you guys like to bang blocks together. Well, you're more like the straightforward, hey, you're an asshole, you're a dick. She's like, hey, you know what? Maybe you might want to reel that back a bit there, Dave.
Yeah.
So they're both together. So are you talking about like all you guys together, or?
Yeah. It was me and Shan, and then there was a couple other people we had kind of, doing the RC airplane stuff. So there was a small group of us, and Shan kind of came later, and she was like halfway interested in personality, and not as much, but like more so once we started to kind of apply it to sales. And then once we started like tracking it, that's when she really came in, when we decided like, all right, let's see if this Myers-Briggs stuff is actually scientific. So we kind of like try to figure out how we can track it scientifically, and we came up with the thing of like, all right, let's put people in opposite rooms and let's type Johnny and see what you come up with. And we would
like
yeah,
mid 2000s or so, like
no, it was a little later. It was like 2000. We started doing that around 2012, probably something like that.
And you guys are married, and you have a little chaos monkey, as you guys.
We're married now. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So we've been together for about 10 years, something like that.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
So yeah, it took a while. It took a while to get it tracking objectively, because when we first tried, we couldn't. Just like all the Myers-Briggs skeptics and real science is saying, is that you can't. This stuff isn't really actually trackable or scientific. So, like it kind of works like a Ouija board, where it's like, I think Timmy's an ENFP. I also think he's kind of an ENFP, and people come up with kind of influencing each other or self-testing. It's just very subjective, and there's no way to really check it or verify it or test it or reproduce it or anything real tangible like that,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we went after. We went after to see if we could actually do that, if we could actually put ourselves in separate rooms, type random strangers off the YouTube, and be like, okay, so I got this person as an ENTP. What did you get him as? And then we would, get it off or get it different, and then we would go back to the drawing board and trying to find terms and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how we started fucking around with this stuff.
And when did you start doing the YouTube and all that stuff, the online presence?
I did the RC airplane stuff all the way back in 2004. So by the time YouTube came around, I'd already been doing videos for a while. So it jumped on YouTube early with the RC airplanes in 2008, and then had like that channel was pretty big back in its day, 2008, 2009. And so kind of learned how to do video and stuff. And then at the time jumped on, did some early personality videos in 2010, just to kind of reserve the channel. Cause it's like, you guys remember like when the internet started coming at scale, we were like late 20s, early 30s. And it was kind of like, there was a couple of years there where there was a debate where people were like, I think this internet's for real. No, it's just a fad, right? Remember that?
Yeah. People were second guessing it, saying, oh, it's going to go out soon or some dumb shit like that.
Right. There's the .com bubble in 01. This is the second bubble. Yeah. So I kind of jumped in, did some personality videos on the channel just to kind of reserve the spot, because there was nobody doing personality on YouTube back in 2010. So threw some videos up there and then disappeared. Life fell apart, went through the whole kind of like, facing your demons and the divorce and all. Yeah, the crash. Yeah. And then so SHani and I came back in 2018. So we've been going now for 18, 19, 20, 21. It's about 3-4 years now.
Yeah. And it's been like I went back all the way. I've been binging basically the last because I signed up for the website, which you can do as well if you go to Objectivepersonality.com. We're going to go into the basics of all the functions tonight, but we're not going to go into the detail of all the animals, which are really fascinating, or the the male female aspects, because there's not just 16 types in their Outlook. There are 512. We're going to focus on the functions and the basics. If you want more information, you can forego the wine and the pizza this evening and spend $19 to find yourself a tool that might help you with self-growth and figuring this out, why you do the same old fucking shit all the time over again. So that's what I'm saying. And you can also have a fun with these awesome videos of typing people. Like you guys go on YouTube and you'll find people and really examine like Jordan Peterson, Philip DeFranco, anybody else, all these I mean, not anybody else, but a lot of other people that you might find. So it's really cool, but it's less than a fucking pizza. So if you really actually care about a tool that you might feel is something you can use, go there and check it out. Cause I certainly did. And it's pretty awesome. So anyway, yeah, so that's where you guys are now. So you guys just kind of came into that. And when did you realize though that it was actually more of a tool than just, hey, I'm an INTP. I like to think inside my head. Like, when did you realize it was like, holy shit, this is really a tool to help us get out of our bullshit?
Yeah, it was like, there's a lot of things that coincidentally kind of started happening all at once. So it's like, when we started to see that there was actually something here, I was hitting like early mid 30s. And so that's when, you know, my life was starting to really fall apart. And then, but it was,
you know what is that with the 30s, man, where it seems like you just smash into a fucking wall right in like your mid 30s for some reason.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The weirdest shit. Like everything's great up until that point, and then you're just like, whoa, what the fuck's happening?
Because you realize that everything's not great. You realize you've been fooling yourself a lot of ways, and you've been
that's true. That's true. A lot of shit you thought you grew up believing, it wasn't. You found it wasn't true. So
right. Yeah, totally. Like when we've been typing people in the class, like the thing that is the most interesting is not like figuring out their type. That gets kind of boring kind of quick, but like it's the reoccurring crashes. And then the reoccurring realizations and transformations, and most of them, like Carl Jung said, like they usually start around 40.
Yeah.
Like I know, Jeff, you're talking about like a lot of change in your life, and you're 45. Like you're actually like right on time. For those that actually do kind of wake up and start to become responsible, it's usually not until maybe mid 30s, 40s, or 50s sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you got to like have enough go rounds on the planet to see, oh, this crazy shit really is coming for me. Because the dominoes, you do something now, you know, in fucking May or June, and like it doesn't kick your ass until November, and like you know, you have so much to blame in between here and there. You know, you don't see it right away.
True, man.
Right.
So true. And we'll get into, like I said, I've got a whole, because that whole hero's journey idea. Where you just get your ass kicked and you have to just start realizing that you're doing this. Because you guys call them tidal waves, and we'll talk more about that when we get into. Let's get into functions. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll.
So because everyone's talking about ENTP, INTP, all that stuff right there. Let's start with because you base them. Where did you start basing them around the 4 needs? Because the 4 needs that you guys talk about are really simple. You've got it's broken up into 2 things. And I like the way you guys break it down into coins. The first coin is observer and decide. Well, observer, decider, or DI. Well, anyway, observer, decider. I'm going to make it simple. Observer, decider, right? Which are 2. There's 4 parts to that, which is the 4 needs. There's the gathering need. They need to gather information, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just gonna go
test this motherfucker. We should test him at the end of it. give him a test, man.
Well, I'm just saying, like correct. I know you know more. And how many people have you done? 5,000 types now, probably at least.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
But just correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna go through. So gathering is a need. Organizing what you gather is a need, and those are the 2 observer portions of the scale. That coin, observing and gathering, or gathering and organizing.
Right.
And then those are the first 2. And the other part of that is self and tribe.
Yeah.
And that's your relationship between yourself and the tribe. And those are the 2 sides of the first division. Because that's what I love about you guys' stuff too, is you're trying to make things really simple. Coins, 2 sides of a coin. And I don't know if they're spectrum or not. 60, 40, 70, 30. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So those are the main things. Let's start with gathering. And I've got a little scenario here. I want to see if this makes sense to you. So SE is simply very simple. I think SE is pretty much the most basic and obvious of all, which would be everything that you sense. So like in your outer world, taste, touch, smell, sight, sound, whatever, all those things. So let's say you walk into a room and it's room, there's a desk, and there on the desk there's a transistor radio, and it's playing a Justin Bieber song, whatever, and you're smelling something in the air and you feel it on your skin, and you taste it, whatever. That's pretty much what SE is: sensing experience or sensing extroversion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And we're seeing that the sensing, like if there were kind of a human need even to sensing, like what is it trying to do? It's trying to prove its case. So it's like because everything works in a coin. It's like hard to see sensing unless you're looking at intuition, and it's hard to see intuition unless you're looking at sensing, because you kind of do them opposite of each other. So it's like, for example, somebody who's or like somebody who's sensory dominant, when you say, oh, how was your day, and they're like, oh, it was a shitty day, they then are obligated to prove that to some degree. They'll be like, so I got up a little bit late. I got up 45 minutes late. So they're giving you the facts. They're not just,
we know who that is.
I was gonna say, I think I know who that person might be.
So they'll lay it out, and then they'll say like, oh, and then my car had a flat tire, and it's supposed to be 44 psi, and it was 27 psi. So they're giving you extra details to prove the case, because they don't want you to walk away going, well, I had a bad day, and then you didn't back it up. Well, maybe you didn't have a bad day because you didn't say anything. The intuitive will just be like, I had a bad day, and they'll jump on. The intuition is reminds me of. So the intuitive will say something like, I had a bad day. It reminded me of that time back in 2005 when I went to the zoo and a monkey threw shit in my face. And you're like, what the hell?
That's probably.
And so they'll jump to this scenario reminds me of another scenario, and then fuck your details. I'm not going to fill in the details. I'll just give you the overview. So that's what we're seeing. Yeah.
Well, that's funny, because part of what you were describing, the first personality was almost myself, but
it is yourself.
But then there's other things.
Well, that's the combo. Yeah.
Well, things that are just way too, I guess, advanced, or just too much bullshit for me to go through. Where I'm just like, no, man, I don't want to do that. And it's like,
because you're balanced in that area, bro. And we'll go into that later on.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm jumping ahead.
Those are your right and left hands, in my opinion. Maybe we'll get that down. We'll get that later on.
Okay.
So we got the sensing. So intuition is like, oh, I hear that Justin Bieber song. That reminds me of last time I heard that song, when that goddamn time, like Celebration, that song Celebration by Kool and the Gang. Every time that song came out when I was a little kid, it's like, fucking Celebration. So. Like, because that like there was something happened. Like I fell off a ladder when that song was on once.
Really?
Yeah, there was a robber in the backyard. I guess my roommate was not roommate, my babysitter when I was like 10. So it's like that kind of thing is NE. So it's basically making assumptions about the physical world. You're still kind of taking it in, but you're not really concerned about it as long as it kind of relates to the ideas that are popping out in your head, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, and then it's defined by. Not whether somebody does this or that, like Max was saying, is like, well, I kind of do both. Like, yes, exactly. Like, especially as we get older, people start using the other side of their brain. They start developing, especially if they're going towards self-growth and all that kind of stuff. But like, it's defined by, what I like to really define it by is the people in your life, what do they fucking hate you for? Like, so for example, Jordan Peterson, right? Greatest guy around. But like, if you lived with him, you'd be like, dude, you're always changing the channel. You're talking, and then now you're talking about the fucking alt-right, and now you're talking about the Nazis, and now you're talking about Canada, and now you're talking,
excuse me, the truth is the magnification of it. Hold on, let me talk back here. Let me go over this one. When I was walking down the street last week, I saw my dog there, and he talked about Jesus, and the Jesus was.
There you go, right there. Like that's funny, and then 24 hours later, you're like, okay, stop. Talk normal.
Stop.
So even like certain YouTubers that you like, you said, dude. If you lived with them, they'd be just pains in the ass.
Of course they would. We're all pains in the ass. That's the whole point, Max. We're all a pain in the ass. We're all programmed these ways, and because it's all based upon fear and just evolution and all this shit. It's all your brain going crazy, right?
Yeah.
And also the gathering functions are all about new shit. So like they're never about the same shit, which is really annoying for people who are not who like routine. Like they do not. That's all new information, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so what I'm finding I feel like every 3 to 6 months, Shani and I get a little bit of a deeper understanding of all of these coins and functions. And what I'm finding really works for myself is like relating to, so say some weirdo function like FE or something that I don't have. It's like, okay, there's somewhere in my life over the course of a week that I'm in some type of a state that I am doing FE to some degree, where I am relating to other people's emotions. So if I can like grab that little spark and blow on that flame and like make that feeling a little bit larger, I can see it, you know? So it's like the organizers, what are they doing? So just imagine like you're like on a vacation and you're, you know, up in the mountains in the snow and everybody wants to hike around or go skiing or they want to go do something new. And you got like 2 weeks there and you've now seen all the new stuff. So your gathering function is kind of fed. You're like, okay, this is new. We've done a lot of new stuff. I'm now tired. Can I get back to the fucking cabin? And there's that cozy cabin where your feet are exhausted, you're cold, you're wet. You're like, can I just go back to the known? And all of a sudden the known, the routine, back at the cozy cabin, that's the positive space, you know? And so we can all kind of feel that, you know, like, so the OI like has that on crack all the time. So they always want to get back to their cozy spot, whether it's their man cave or their office or their job or their garage or, you know, their hobby or whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah,
and the new that is very frustrating.
And exactly. And then that's actually a great segue, Dave. Great job, man. Into the OI. And what he means by OI is observing intuition. There's OE and OI. Those are the observers. Yeah. The extroverted observers and the introverted observers. You got SE, NE, which are like outward. It's all new experiences, new stuff. Like that's why like you'd be a great cop because you love the new SE. You want to have a little bit new experiences, right? Right. SI and NI, which are introverted and NI stuff, is all about processing and narrowing down stuff, right? Like because you can't do. It's almost like SE and NE are the forest. And SI is like the path through the forest to get you where you want to go because you have to fucking narrow it down or else you're going to just, the forest. I'm right.
But then again, I'm very routine too. So I may have a little of that.
Like I said, you got the balance. You're more balanced. Like me, I ain't balanced. And this is where you can fuck with me here all you want, man. Because SI is all about, let's take the interview here that we're doing right now. Like I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. A general outline. SI would probably have, all right, the first 5 minutes are going to be, is that kind of like,
a saver SI. Yeah. So think of like a checklist at work, like again, like I've had to get old enough in life to where it's like you have to cross a bridge in life and you need this special token to pass. And so it's like, so for example, when like we're trying to build a hobby business, like you're not going to pass that level until you learn how to do manuals and how to do instructions. Now I'm the guy that throws away the instructions and never. So like I now have to fucking write instructions, which means that I have to actually believe in them and actually have to know this pain of writing out all the instructions is a needed pain to solve a larger problem of keeping the customers happy so they can build the goddamn plane step by step, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, SI is like, it's taking all that physical chaos and going, hey, what's the order? Do I build the nose cone first or the nose cone last? Like somebody needs to write this out.
You feeling nauseous yet, Brett?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, shit.
I told you. No, you're like, I'm not gonna do that. I can jump over. Like, okay, let's take a
right.
I'll give you
a
SC, I'll give you a classic SI example of my great friend. She's a great friend of mine, Snappy T. Snappy T is
okay, yeah.
So it's like, all right, so what's going on this week? Okay, well, I have this thing. Let me go back here. So the reason why this thing works is because okay, so where are we going here? Like okay, so I have to go to work and I have to go in the kennel and the kennel is this and the kennel is this and the kennel is this and then she'll go and like step by step tell me like every like
a little too much detail kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very narrow though, like very not like on one thing, like while
not enough for you to even get a bite of, you know, you're kind of like, oh, wait, hold up, back up to the first part.
Basically, I don't know if that's SC or SI, but get to the fucking point, please. Is that more SI or SC or both?
It's like it's a lot of times it sounds like they're talking in slow motion because they're having to lay one point down at a time. They're not wanting to jump. Where the SE is like, give me the highlight reel. You know, exactly. It's like, Yeah, I'll tell you the biggest, the fastest, the coolest. You know, I'll give you kind of a spectrum.
But
you know, an extroverted spectrum view.
You'll still do it in order, and you'll still do it to make it make sense, so you can prove what you're doing in order. You won't go out of order. Like me, I can jump around.
Yeah.
You like you know, I don't care about that. Doesn't but Brett, you're like, oh no, I have to tell you, I woke up at 6:45. Like you will say, I woke up at 7:15. You know, like
because a lot of it's relevant to the story, you know, in some way.
It is. To you, like to me, like what about my stories? How do I tell stories, dude?
Oh yeah, well you tell them. I'm like, wait, what happened? Hold up, you know, I gotta like ask you again, like what, you know, wait a minute, what was what?
Exactly, dude. I don't tell
Yeah. The mask, not to get into this rabbit hole too, but like the masculine sensory, like, so there's saviors, which are whichever one you prefer, and then we shit on and blame the opposite. So if you're OI, you think the other one's just the worst thing ever. But then the masculinity, so each of these functions has a masculine factor to it. So if somebody is sensory dominant or SE dominant and it's masculine, then they're going to be respecting those facts a lot more. So for Shani and I, we have a crisscross where she's savior SE, but it's feminine SE. I'm demon SE, but it's masculine SE. So I'll do what Max does, where I'll be like, no, it was 7:15, because I like, even though it's a demon, I still got to respect the facts. I'm not going to like be blurry with the facts. If I'm going to lay the facts down, which is going to piss me off already, then I'm going to make sure that they're solid and not movable, you know?
Yeah. Movable means like she'll be like, all right, I can kind of budge on that area of things, but
I got up at 7-ish. I'm like, no, it was 7:59. It was almost 8 o'clock. The sensory matters.
Right. The time matters. A lot of shit matters. The sun was in a different place.
And she's like, shut the fuck up. You're just trying to prove that you're good at that, and you're not, you dumbass.
Right.
You know, that's the other thing though. Sometimes people shit on us for our memory. You know, like, God, you know, almost like they kind of hate on it a little bit. Like, well, I don't have a good memory, you know, because I find myself always saying, remember.
Yeah.
You know, and people get really pissed off at me for doing that.
This fucker remembers, like if you're talking about photograph, I think, I was going to talk about this later on with the
told you, man, your little outline.
all right, motherfucker. You know what? Let's keep going on what we're talking about. We'll get back into that, but the idea is bounce. Like you're like, fuck it, because you have a great memory. You have a almost photographic memory, or used to before all the nights at the Rum Runner or whatever.
I still remember a lot of shit though.
Oh, of course you do. Like on Thursday, July 23rd, it was a rainy afternoon.
We see that. We see that big time. Yeah, masculine sensory will grab timeline things.
Yeah.
Like so Max can tell you like the order of events. Like, oh, this happened in 04. This was right before that, so it's probably 03. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yep. And there's certain...
I try to fight him sometimes, and then I just died because I can't. He's better. He's way better.
Actually, that's something my boss hates, because she has a horrible memory.
Of course.
And then I'll throw it back at her, and I'm like at one point I was even cracking on her, and it actually pissed her off, and I was like, okay, I won't do that again. I didn't realize it bothered you so much. You know.
All right. So let's go. So we got SI. Okay. So SI is all the sensory. You're like organizing. Now, a lot of people say doing your chores or organizing your closet, but it's more narrow than that. It's better than that. It's much more, right?
Yeah. Though it also is doing your chores and organizing your shit. It's just that like all of these functions. I was just saying this to Shani when we were driving around today. It's like, I'm like, goddamn, SI would be the best, the greatest function to have, but then turn it off 90% of the day. Because like the things with the savior SI is not only they organizing their quote unquote closet, which maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe they're messy there, but like it's like in every conversation they're like, hold on, I need to put that in order. Hold on, I gotta label that. You're like, hey, I'm just bullshitting right now.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
That's like those. Now, is that the same kind of person that, like, say you get a phone call or something, you have to react to it? Oh fuck, what do they want? Instead of just going, oh, let's see what it is later. You know,
that's later, dude. That's later. That's the tribe self, guaranteed.
Okay, all right.
So we got cruise control here, man. I'm taking control finally.
Because I'm laughing because earlier I got a text and I muted for a second because I wanted to see what the hell.
You had to see who it was, of course.
Right. Exactly.
Fucking decider bastard. Okay, so NI is where I'm gonna rest my weary head as my savior. God, it's basically you're taking all those concepts that you have and you're trying to cram everything that's in the world outside into this goddamn neat little fucking ideal. If I had one idea to cover everything in my life, it'd be the greatest goddamn thing ever, right? Is that kind of like
yeah.
that's why I love this stuff. It fits neatly into my idea. Coins, two sides of the coin, the many and the whole, breaking things down, like telescoping in and out. Like you can see things as two things. You can think as four things, 8 things, 16, 20, 32. Like it fits so well into my philosophy because I have to fucking try to fit everything into a goddamn thing. Like
into a box, right?
Like a box, and literally everything. I live in a box. I share a kitchen. And I live in a fucking room, and I'm the happiest motherfucker in the world right now with this because it's very contained. It's very contained. I have everything I need in this goddamn place, and if I need to come back here, it's my space, so I can deal with. We'll get to the fears later on. Well, the fear of the chaos. Like I can't believe I'm a control freak, but I am in the opposite way of controlling others. I minimize everything that I have. So it's easier to mitigate the chaos. Live within my means. I have little things. If I need to bail out of here, I don't have a lot to worry about. I've got my lovely computer. I've got everything, everything I need here, but it's not a lot of shit. And I'm self-contained. Does that make sense to you, Dave? Does that kind of fit?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So one thing that describing NI to people that are like, what the hell is it? It's kind of like, it reminds, so here's NI, right? Or intuition right here, like reminds me of, so the analogy that I'm jumping to is like, it reminds me of when we were in grade school in math, where they give you a large number, like 3,426 over 55,000, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
and
my
like,
favorite kind of problems. Yuck.
Yeah, these giant numbers. And you're like, okay, you could actually, what can you divide that down to? Oh, like actually it's 7 over 16. Or if you could get over 1 over 2, you're like, oh my gosh, the relief of, I was about to start with this giant number. There's all these options. So it's like, oh, there's all these psychologies. There's all these views. Like, hey, can we get this down to 4 coins? Can we get this down to 2 coins? Like, so it's trying to, Steve Jobs was really good at this back in his day, where he's like, yeah, great options. Can we get that down to be simpler and more narrowed down? You go to In-N-Out Burger and it's way narrowed down to, okay, here's just the best 3 that people are going to order anyways. We don't need all the extra chaos and options, because options and new and channel changing and variety and updates, that's the enemy. We want to get it all the way down to the simplest, coin possible.
See, and I think that's where cruise control and I are somewhat similar, because I actually don't like when I go to some place and there's too much to pick from, and it's like, whoa, hey, hold up, man, this is too much shit. This is too much chaos here.
You know what? I think it's a good time to talk about something I mentioned to you in the first email I sent to you, Dave, about the differences between us and our visual impairments and how it affects, or at least. So in your opinion, of course, because you are obviously were into this before your son was born. How much is nurture and how much is nature, and how much is the effect of things on especially on the sensory stuff like this? How much, or even on the other stuff, but how much is it both? Like, what have you found?
Yeah, that's a really like that down that corridor are like the best questions, if you, in my opinion, like going down that road, like the stuff that we're tracking. As far as personality, it's 100% genetic in our opinion from what we're looking at. Like, so for example, people of the same type. So we're typing people the past few years. And so like say for the ENFPs, for example, that's the male ENFPs, we have the most of that type, probably about 50 or so. And when it comes to the males, a large majority of them are red hair, and red hair only seems to cluster in the ENFP, ISFP, and sometimes ESTJs.
Holy shit.
Wow. So it goes to hair color? Like,
it goes to hair color, it goes to body shape, face shape,
a whole bunch of stuff that we can't mention on YouTube without getting banned. So let's
So it's there's a website called twinstrangers.com. And it's kind of what it sounds like, and that's where people around the world will bump into their doppelganger or somebody that looks exactly like them. And the several different news companies have kind of chased these down, and because some of them like they get really, really specific. Like there was a guy in one of the European countries, and he moves into a small town. And everyone's like, "Hi, John. Hi, John." He's like, "What the hell? My name's not John." And it turns out there's a guy there that looks exactly like him, like same color, same hair, same dress, same looking wife, same car, same house. Like
Wow.
everything is scary the same. And so like the scientists come in, they test, like, is this guy a twin brother? Are they related? Like, what the hell is happening? You know, and this is
Right.
Wow.
happening all over the world. People are finding, you know, people that look like carbon copies or twins of themselves. Now that the 8 billion people on the planet can now talk to each other through the internet and travel, you know, and so if you picture that, like that's what we're looking at scale. So it's not everybody of your exact same type looks like you. Maybe they're a different race. Maybe they're older. Maybe they're younger. You know, there's a lot of different things going on, but a large majority of people that are your exact same type will look very much like you. And if we have enough people type, there are quite a few that look exactly like you, like
Okay.
like crazy, very much the same. So when it comes to like physical traits
Yeah.
and the personality trait, what we're tracking, that in our opinion is 100% genetic. It's tied to your body, your face, your hormones. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of interesting stuff there. But the interesting thing is, so say somebody who's the same exact type as you, but they were born in Mongolia in the 1940s. Like
Or let's
Yeah.
do this. Born, let's say same type as me, born legally blind, not blind, or
Right.
the same type as Brett, born completely blind, not sighted. So
Right.
like that kind of thing is a drastic difference in the way you perceive the world
Exactly.
and gather
Right.
and organize information. No, it has to be. There's no way it can't.
So I'm just wondering
Right.
if there's a dude that looks like me that's sighted, that's totally opposite me. You know what I'm saying?
No, they'd be the same, but they would express it more like
In
maybe
different.
that's more of an animal thing. Is that where the animals come in and how you kind of like lean on certain things more because of your I wasn't going to get into the animals, but like the sleep state, like me, because I'm visually impaired and because the sighted world is so tiring for me. Like I literally have to look around all the time when I'm out in the world and see patterns and see these things so that I retreat into my inner world because it allows me to fucking take a breath. And so it's much easier for me. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're seeing like it's like the genetic type, and then I think the two other large variables that we kind of look at is one is the person's upbringing. So like that would be if they've got any kind of trauma going on or disorder or disability or the other one is like how much the parents and the siblings interact. Like there's a big difference if like you're a firstborn or a lastborn.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
that'll be like that's kind of will play out largely in somebody's life, as well as the culture.
Well,
You know, like there's a lot of things in the culture like fucking, you know, mariachi music that I can't fucking stand. But
Yeah.
like if I was born in Mexico, I would love that fucking music, and that's
Probably
kind
be
of
all over
scary. You
Huh.
know, you'd be like that's a if I was raised a different way, I'd have different views. Like damn right you would. You'd be a very, very different person just
Yeah.
based upon your
How
environment. Like
you're
you
brought
think
up.
you're
But-
yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you know
it's
what
just a
though?
huge-
But it's weird because both Cruise Control and I have siblings, and our siblings, both of our are way different than we are.
Oh, of course.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like for instance, you know, I just have one brother, but he's a totally different dude than me. And
Right.
Cruise Control has two brothers that are
Yeah.
totally opposite him. You know,
And,
I guess-
and raised in the same environment.
same home,
Yeah.
yeah, same
Well,
home, everything.
Right.
And that's the whole dynamic and between different, and I guess that's kind of the point I'm trying to wonder is have we been like I feel like the reason I guess we can like the reason I feel like Brett is more balanced in his if you want to talk a double observer, I guess is what the term we'd use, which basically means, Brett, that you're more balanced in observing and dealing with life, like the sensing and the intuition. That's why you can juggle it. That's why you actually learn how to cook. Well, I'm like, fuck that shit. Yeah, I'll fucking eat energy bars and drink my little drinks and have my little goddamn routine that I make my smoothie and not deal with that. We were like, I'll eat a bug. I'm like, I don't need to eat a bug. Right. So that's why, because you have to recognize a narrow pattern. Let's take a room, any room. You have to recognize the pattern where you take from the door to everywhere. I take 10 steps to the door, 10 steps left to the fucking bathroom, 10 steps left to this. So you have to use your sensing to enable you to make the pattern for you to live in a normal life, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
that's
you
right.
have
To make
that balance. It's oh, I see very well in terms of I see enough to know what sight is like. My sight is 2400 out of my one eye. I'm blind on my left eye. So every goddamn day I see, I can't trust my senses. I can't trust the outside world. Visual is 70% of everything, right? Or something like that. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all I'm doing every day is comparing the fact I can't drive. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. So I cannot trust. So I barrel into the intuitive. Oh, I can't trust that. I can't do that. Oh, like buffets. No, I don't want to go there. Oh, it's too much stuff.
I mean, I have some of those moments too. Certain shit that I know, like, I don't think that.
No one's ever going. You're never going to be mistaken. Like, I will never be mistaken for someone who can't not see at all.
Oh, I see.
You will always be known as blind, dude. If someone doesn't know you're blind, once they do, it's not like they become the side of, oh God, me. It's like, what the fuck's your problem? Why are you smelling that fucking phone? I'm not smelling my phone, asshole. I'm looking at my phone closely. That's how I see things. It's constant.
So there's a lot of questioning that you run up against.
Well, of course. And I find myself, I can go to the store myself. I can go to everywhere. But if there's someone walking with me who can see better than me, automatic, I defer to them constantly. It's unconscious. I notice it. My friends and I notice, like, holy shit, whoever's the best sighted person is, oh, we're going to cross the street. Even if the light's green, I see the fucking sign that says walk. So what do you think about that, Dave? Didn't mean to overrun the conversation there, but what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think in general, like it puts the challenges that somebody's going through is going to force a lot of growth where they're going to have to compensate and try and navigate through it. And these functions and stuff, they seem to be just muscles or tools. And so much of how you then play them out is dependent on your environment, So it's like, if you're born in a totally different situation at a different time, your functions could be totally weaker another direction or stronger another direction, depending on I don't want to say choice, because I feel like what we're seeing is like the environment and the situation somebody's in really forces them to grow and adapt. Because like the amount, like honestly speaking, the amount of growth that I see myself and the human race put on themselves voluntarily is very, very small. Like the transformational growth is always when you have a fucking gun to your head, when you always are in some horrible do or die situation.
Yeah, where you're like, oh shit, I need to change this now or else,
or else a worse pain. Yeah. And so it's like, so for example, you guys or everybody included, you could have somebody who's your exact same type, and they're born in fucking Smurf Village and everything is fucking great for them, and they'll be like processing information very similar, gather versus organize, T versus F or that kind of shit, whatever. Right. But their whole worldview in life, their discipline, their strength, their character, where they fit in the tribe, even though they're the same type, one's a loser, one's not, or whatever. Like these are going to be very dynamic, So for example, like Bill Gates and fucking Kevin Bacon are the same type, but very, very different people. You know what I mean? They're both lead TI. They'll both get upset if you insult them. They're both double observers. They're both smart as fuck. One's a better dancer than the other. One cares about people. One's got more into his FB. It's like there's a lot of differences, but there's still like when you throw information at them, their information is still processing the same way because they got the same functions or whatever. But they're still very, very different people. It's when you get somebody that like is the same age. They're also the second born child. They also were born in California. They also had an upbringing and they also chose to do that's when things will get very scary, similar.
Scary, eerie.
Yeah. But for the most part, there's kind of a bell curve where you'll have somebody that is your exact same type, but they're very, very different people because they've the past 40 fucking years, they've had to go through so much different shit, Yeah,
right. Of course. So I guess my main overall point is so you think it's 100% genetic, like it's from birth, it's there, but the situations in your life will allow you, because you have four main functions, the other functions will, whatever. But you have four main functions you focus on. Well, I guess we can get into that too.
Right.
But the four main, there's so much here. God damn.
I know.
but the four main functions that you have that you work with all the time, like for me, let's say SE is there, so they're there, so the experiences in life will dictate which ones you rely on more than the others, even though they're already there as a blueprint to begin with.
Right. Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It honestly feels like muscles. Like you're like you know, at the gym, there'll be guys that'll be like, you know, arm dominant, you know, big arms and small legs or whatever. Or like bicep, tricep, or chest and back. It's like, it feels like for me, like as I've been getting older, I swear to God, the past year, I swear I felt my SE actually start to kind of come online. Like, so for example, Shani and I were trying to get this couch. We moved into a new house last October, and like the couch is stuck in the fucking ports, you know, because the coronavirus and you know, all that kind of stuff. So like we find ourselves going across Oregon in the middle of a snowstorm, and like I get this. I rented a truck off of 45 minutes notice, like no planning. You know,
holy shit, no way, dude.
Yeah. There you go. So,
damn.
And what was weird is like I wasn't faking it. I wasn't like doing this dog trick of like, okay, let me use my NI to think through, and like I was just doing it. Like I was just calmly
operating, right?
I was just operating. I was just an EP for 20 fucking minutes. And we're like, yeah, let's just go get the truck. We don't need to plan. We'll just figure it out as we go.
Yeah. And then you felt goddamn good about yourself, didn't you? Like, hell yeah. You still felt good about it. Yeah.
And I wasn't acting like so many times before when I'm improvising, like it's all an act. I'm like, dying inside.
Yeah.
You're
like,
right. I hope this works.
Right.
It's like when you start working out, like I've started doing, and the thing about NI too is we'll find the one workout, like Brett, you've got your goddamn treadmill.
Yeah.
And I've got my trampoline, my damn Celicizer, Dave Hall trampoline, man, where I can work every muscle out at once. Yeah. So, you know, fucking my little room, like I got my shit. I jump on that every 20. I fucking feel so good. And it's little things like that. We'll get, oh, God damn it. Okay. So let's go to the other side. Let's fuck with Max a little bit here.
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck with Max because this is the decider side. This is about self and tribe. Because NI is basically narrowing down your situation. Yes, I. So you got the gathering, you got your organizing. So what are you gonna do? Who's most important? Who is? Let's start with self. And let's do a role play, Brett. We're gonna do some improv here. All right. So I want you to be. We're gonna start with FI. FI versus TI. Self. Who is you? Who are you? Are you based upon values, or are you based upon like your ideas? And we'll start with FI because I think it's easier to kind of get a grasp of. And I want your opinion on the DI a little bit later. But here's a little role play here, Brett. So I'm gonna be you're gonna be the interviewer. You're corporate Jim. You're all right, and you're gonna ask me about my skills and about what specific skills I have. All right. So that's your focus. All right. So here I'm gonna go. All right. Ready? Here we go. And I'm gonna be the responder. Here we go. All right.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Tom.
Oh, hi, Tom. So, listen, I see you. What brought you the interest in our company?
Well, I have a unique view of life, and my values are extremely important to me, and I believe that I can give that to you.
What might be those values? Can you give me some examples?
Oh, I could talk about that, but actually, look.
Dave's probably like, oh my God.
No, Brett. No, Brett. Scale. Brett, your scales. What are my skills? What the fuck is the skills? So what are my skills?
What are your skills there, fucker?
Well, fucker, excuse me. I'm a unique person. I am a unique person.
A unique person. What makes you unique?
I know Dave's analyzed. Fuck you, Dave. Anyways.
And the fucker thing was kind of a slip, like,
No, it's true. It's true. The idea is, here we go.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking, fucker.
No, I know, of course. You can say it to me, man, because I'm being controlling asshole here. This is like a microcosm of everything. But the point is this. Listen, sir. I know that I bring my unique perspective and my unique authenticity to this job as an engineer at an electric company.
You still didn't tell me what that is.
Oh, I just told you. My perspective is wonderful. I am a unique person, and I will bring light and advisement to your business here. I can show you my authentic self, and if you just follow what I want.
Too much fluff, man. That's what I would have said. This motherfucker's too fluffy for me.
Nothing substantial.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you bring to what do you bring? What are your skills? My skills are being who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
NF hippie shit, we call it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
NF total. Like SF is a little bit better, but still, FI is total. Like, I am who I am, and I bring value for that. Not to anybody else, you fuckface. You don't bring any. What are you bringing? Like, right? Is that? Am I right on that? Is that?
Yeah. And I'm Saver FI too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were NI Saver. Oh, because you got the NIFI on the top.
NIFI, yeah. So,
You still haven't broken down what all these things are.
After we're getting through the functions.
Okay, all right.
You got to.
Yeah. So when we were going through the Myers-Briggs, I was thinking for years that I'm Saver TE because the FIs are dumb. They're exactly what you're describing there, and like that was a big switch for me, is realizing like, oh shit, I'm Saver FI. What the hell happened? Like, what's going on? It's like the FI. It's like the FI is driving from a position of like first, it's first self over tribe. So whether it's the person is TI or FI, it's like, okay, are you putting yourself first or are you putting others first? So the extrovert decider, the DE, the person who's TE or FE, they're going to be constantly asking everybody else's opinion. And I'm actually not seeing Max do that. Max isn't. Yeah, he's not. He's not desperately going, what do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you? Because the DE is going, I got to ask 10 other people's point of view, and then I'll average it together, and I'll just go with whatever else is going on.
So maybe he's lead FI as well. I could see that too.
Maybe. Well, or maybe it's just in the case of. It sounds like those are the people pleasers you're describing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right.
Well,
exactly.
Part of it. I mean, there's a little bit of that in me in the sense of, you know, I being that it's kind of cruise control's interview thing, you know, I'm kind of laying back a little bit, and it's something that I'm not as well studied on as he is. So I'm kind of like, well, I don't want to look stupid, and I want to learn, so I'm just going to listen. I'm just going to jump in when I can, sort of.
Exactly, and Max also is a good example of double deciding. You like all of us here.
He just used one of my words.
We're all like punching each other for the sake of let's play around. I'm a dumbass, you're a dumbass, you're cool, I'm cool. Let's have fun for the sake of let's get the information out. If one of us was a decider, it's a very, very different conversation. This is where a lot of people have a hard time, like really, really actually believing what someone else is going through, who's an opposite of you. You know, like because if you have an immunity to this fear, you know, like you've ever seen somebody like really afraid of spiders or something that you're just not afraid of.
What the fuck are you tripping on? Yeah,
that. So like I said,
the dark.
Yeah.
How are you afraid of the fucking dark? It's the dark.
Right. What's in the dark?
It's the fucking dark, man.
Right, that's a good one. Yeah. So
I'm
it's
afraid
like,
of the dark. What the fuck do you even mean by that? It's fucking dark.
Right. Very vague fear.
Okay. So this is really cool. Okay. So fuck everything. Okay. So you think he's a D? Because the only reason I thought he was middle because he has such an easy idea of taking new shit. Oh, I'll do this. I'll do that. Like me, I can't. If there's something I'm doing, like this interview today, I was so fucking amped about it. I wasn't really anxious, but if it were something outside in the world, like if I had to go to my improv group that I have, that I used, well, not now, it's like last year, but if I went there the whole day, I couldn't do a goddamn thing. I'd be like, oh, okay, I got to think about, and it wouldn't be because
that right there. So that intensity, I can't do a damn thing. I got to think about it. I think you have masculine TI, and Max and I have FI, and Max and I have FI in the middle.
Yeah.
So we're like, I'm cool. Here's my vibe. I'll TE. Max and I will TE entertain bullshit. So we're like, that idea, cool, whatever. We're just kind of going along.
Yeah.
You know, with throwing out a bunch of dumb ideas, good ideas. And you on the other side, Def, I think you're more like masculine TI. You're like, fuck, hold on. I got to figure this out. This has got to work. This is driving me crazy. Wait, how's this go? There's a lot of intensity to where the thinker side falls. So if the thinker side falls on, you get it as a savior and it's fucking masculine, like you're banging a lot of fucking blocks. That's like Shan, like constantly trying to figure shit out.
Yeah,
I think
with my fucking NI too, narrowing that shit down, making it to the concept, and but I think I still think I'm in the middle because I really have I think I'm totally top NI. I was almost thinking that I was an ISFP because I thought but I think I don't even know.
I think both you guys have both you guys are double deciders. So both you guys have got the T. And
Yeah.
that's like what makes
we
you guys so funny and entertaining is the whole show, all the shows that you guys have done. It's all about let's hang out with my buddy and slap each other and have a fun time and talk about missing information. Like we're not talking about Sally or Johnny or getting into, self-therapy for me. We're like, keep it light. We're not having a decider conversation. Nobody is.
Okay, so let's get into your idea about confrontation, Max, because you were talking about how you want to have the last word. While I'm one of those people that I gotta get my shit in, and if I can't, I get mad. I mean, I do too. But his shit will be like his shit will be napalm the bridge, like blow that fucking shit up. While mine will be, I'm gonna try to keep the bridge intact, but walk away. While he is like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a great analogy, man.
Yeah.
It's the best. Yeah. Because that's how I am too. I had something at work the other day where somebody really pissed me off and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this motherfucker in trouble. And then I tried to email their supervisor and then it came back undeliverable. And I was so mad. I was mad for like 3 hours, man. No shit.
And the reason I thought he was lead self or identity, because he has this us against them mentality against sighties, like all these sighties over here and these.
Oh, it's not just sighties; it's other things too.
Oh, of course, but you have like a us against them mentality. So I'm wondering about why that's why I kind of felt.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So here's my opinion from listening to you guys on a couple of your, quite a few of your shows as well. Like, so listen to Max when you and I are bullshitting. He's very calm. He's very easygoing. He's got like a very like feminine side to him where he's like, yeah, cool. He's just chilling with the vibe.
Not me.
But right. But then like what you're describing of this like Hulk comes out where it's like, okay, I must attack, I must destroy or whatever. My guess is that Max has masculine TE and feminine FI. Feminine FI is a savior. So you're going to get this like sweetheart side. We're just sitting back, chilling, having a good time with like his feminine energy, like la 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 la. But then once it's go time, this guy's going to fucking crush everybody because the masculine extroverted decider ultimately feels that the tribe is a threat. And I'll see this with SHani. Yeah, where it's like, okay, the tribe needs to get their fucking ass kicked. And we need to kick their ass because if we don't, they're going to kick our ass. It's fight time. There's an aggression,
So you feel a sense of maybe, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a sense of urgency. Like, oh man, we got to handle this, dude. Fuck that.
Yes,
no.
Right. Yes. That's the masculinity. Like the same way, like Max, you and I are with the facts. We're like, hey, there's an urgency that we got to get the numbers right when we're talking about time or showing up for an appointment. Like you don't fuck around with that. There's an urgency. There's an aggression.
The same. Well, I definitely fucking am on time. I'm kind of like that. I don't. Yeah.
What about cruise control? What would he be? Because he, obviously he's like, just nailing shit sometimes.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is. I'm the exact opposite. You'll take people's bullshit. And you'll still I think the TI, like when I get to that point, I'm like at TIFE, right? I'm like, I'll help you. Oh, you crossed the line.
Right.
Goodbye.
Right. The cat energy. That's what you and I, Jeff, will do in common is where we'll do that. We'll be kind of passive aggressive or bitchy or put up with a lot of shit. And then it's like the cat energy doesn't want to fight. It's just want to rips her head off and walk away or disappear or nuke button, where the dog energy is kind of a lot of bite or a lot of bark and bite, where it's like, let's get in their face, let's hammer this out, let's get aggressive, so there's different dynamics, like how somebody dances gives away a lot of kind of their sexual energy, how somebody deals with confrontation or an argument. When it's me and SHani, I'm like, oh, just give it a couple months and we'll fuck them over silently. Like that's how we'll get them.
That's the way let's let them dig their own grave.
Right.
Is that a term?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. And SHani, the masculine TE is like, no, let's go hammer this out now.
Yeah. See, that's the way I am. I'm like, let's go. I mean, I'll take a lot of shit, but then once I'm pushed to the limit and I feel like I'm backed into a corner, I'm like, all right, man, let's go ahead and just. Let me deal with this.
But he also gets pissed off because what we were talking about this with our buddy Louie on our last episode. It's about boundaries. Like Max will get, I helped this guy out, and I'm like, why? Why did you help this guy out? He's like, well, because I just wanted to, and like, did you? But you didn't run into. He's like he'll call back and go, I'm sorry to piss you off, but I'll ask you, and you'll be pissed off, yet you'll still fucking help them over and over again with their shit.
Right.
Oh,
Well-
with me, I'll be pissed off and go, the principal is shit, and then I'll take the emotional bullshit the whole time.
Yeah, but you can tell you're very good at telling people to fuck off, man. Like that's kind of a trait I envy. Like I said, I there's times where I wish I could be, I even said that. I wish I could be cruise control, man.
I think the difference is you do things calmly, like with other people, like with me, with like I don't think you tell people to fuck off like in a bombastic way. I just tell people to fuck off in a cold, like get the fuck out of my life way.
Right, like I'm done with you, man. That's it. You're finished.
We both do it. We just do it in completely
Different ways. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But sometimes you won't even let them get it to the first, like if you right away you smell a rat, even if I smell a rat, I'm still curious. I'm like, well, let me see what they got to say. And, whereas you're like, no, I don't give a fuck what they got to say, man. I'm done with them.
So that's awesome. Okay. So yeah, those are the four I guess the four traits kind of that we kind of applied. But the idea is that you have these saviors and demons, like the things you rely on the most. So in your opinion, Dave, you think Brett is a savior? If you could give a basic
So what I'm doing when I'm getting to know somebody is I'm playing the allegedly game. I'm playing the here's what I'm seeing at this time. I'm like, okay, so I've listened to probably 3 or 4 of your guys' shows, plus some of the older ones. Okay. And it was fucking funny when your guys' email came in a couple weeks ago. Shani and I were stuck in an In-N-Out line, down in Kaiser, and and we're like, oh, what the hell? Some crazy guys emailed us tonight. They sent a link to a video. We get a bunch of shit like this, right?
Right.
We're like, what the fuck? This is a really long line. Hell, let's play it.
So this was the show that we sent you.
The one that you sent me. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, who the hell are these two guys? Like, are these fucking radio guys? This is fucking hilarious. So yeah, we had a really great time listening to your shit. So I haven't just like, met you today. I have actually listened to quite a few of the videos, and so I'm looking for. It's like a chess game. I'm looking for what pawn did you leave out? And the first things I saw with both you guys is this is classic Observers, where it's a couple of funny guys slapping each other for the sake of let's get to some cool information. Let's talk about some stuff, and that's the classic Observer game / Double Decider. So I saw that in Max as well. And then with Max, I also saw that he has what Shani and I call hometown functions, where he's got the SE, the NI, and the FI and the TE. Because with Max, it's like, Jeff, you'll be like saying all this crazy shit that you've been working on for like 3 weeks.
He'll go, oh wow.
Yeah. And Max will be like, yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like this, or here's what he'll like play along.
I'm pissed off. And you can tell probably I'm getting pissed off. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like I'm not as enthusiastic as you are, kind of thing.
Right. Because Max, you and I have TE. Max, you and I both have TE and SE. So it's like I'll hear your facts, I'll hear your reasons, I'll hear your facts, I hear a bunch of facts and a bunch of reasons. And like as soon as somebody comes along with better facts or better reasons, then I'm gonna drop your bullshit and I'm gonna go with that.
So I'm already it's known that I'm not on board with you, but I'll listen to what you gotta say.
Exactly.
The thing is, Max, I know that. And I'm okay with it. Like I realize that too a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but there's some things too. I think we've done some interviews in the past that you weren't necessarily hardcore gung ho over.
Oh no.
But you still, you toughed it out, man. You tried.
That's so funny, man. That's so you're like, because you'll go wow, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'll let that one pass. Ain't feeling that one. So what do you?
Yeah.
So if you could give us the Myers-Briggs basic bullshit functions, like I said, if you want more in-depth information, you go to objectivepersonality.com. You just fucking sign up there and learn all about it. They got tons of videos.
Because all this TE and TI and whatever you guys are talking about, I'm sure the audience is going, what?
Well, guess what? Yeah, you've got tons of videos on YouTube as well, and you've got the website, and they'll explain it all to you there. Especially if you want to go back to the older videos, the beginning ones, they are kind of more bare bones, like basic, like
kind of breaking it down,
like, and then you guys get together with those awesome videos, and you got to stay for the end videos. Like those are amazing.
There was by the way, I did the last thing that you guys put up there. I was watching today a little bit. It was like a podcast. You had a bunch of people on, and you were talking about a specific personality making naked humor, which is funny because that's kind of the shit that cruise control. It's always
Really?
goes
I didn't
back
see
to-
that.
Yeah, it was something. It must be a new one. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. Yeah. Naked humor. We'll see the NFPs do.
Talking about shitting and jacking
Yeah.
off and
Yeah. They'll do all types will, especially the EPs will love
Okay.
that. But the
All right.
the NFPs have a really interesting type of naked humor that they do. And it's funny because they part of what they think is so funny is that they're the only ones that came up with it. But then, like, you go 1,000 miles away and find another ENFP that also has that same weird little naked
You got
joke.
someone going, "Ho chong cha hua ting cha."
well, just but the uniqueness of it, man. Because you think, damn, I threw out some shit right there. I just fucked somebody up, and then meanwhile, there's another dude talking about.
So what would you say if you could, like I said, what would you say if you could pin us down? Not anything, triangulation with anybody else, but in your honest opinion.
Yeah. So with Max, like the puzzle piece kind of comes in. So first piece that I'm seeing strongly is double decider, and then the second thing I'm seeing with Max, and then I'll get to Jeff in a second, is I'm seeing observer, which kind of cross reference there, and then seeing gather over organize, where Max is not like, hey, let's just hammer on the same thing over and over again. Like right now, all I'm thinking about in the back of my mind is fucking aliens. Like, they're on the fucking news. The government's come out about it. I want to talk for like 18 hours straight, only on one fucking subject.
Mainstream media. Mainstream media.
Well, that's because they're told to do that, not because they think that way.
No. Yeah, no. He's talking about himself. Yeah, like he's got an idea, like a fucking focus. While you're all over the place. So
right. So so Max is wanting to get, in a sense, the bigger picture of like, let's look at this, let's get a whole spectrum of observations, and we'll narrow down later. And that's usually like with the demon NI. It's like Max, especially being older. It's like there's a lot of S and N, which is what I think you're picking up on, Jeff. You're like, he's using S and N all fucking day. I'm like, yeah, like anybody who's kind of growing by the time they hit their fucking 40s, you should be able to see the person kind of doing their fourth function and not freaking out about it. Like you rewind the clock back to when Max was 16. Now that might be a different story because the intuition, and he's scared of ghosts, or all sorts of weird shit will start happening with some of these demons.
Oh, but I used to mask that. I used to mask fears with shit a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not scared of that, or I don't listen to that kind of music. And really,
so speaking of fears, the 4 fears, before we nail Max's thing, and this is what I knew Max is X. I believe Max is extroversion. Well, no, just like there's 4 fears.
That naked humor.
there's EP, EJ, which I believe Max is either one. So the fear of not being good enough, which is the EJ, right? The fear of like, I am not good enough for society, or the fear of I don't want to be controlled by society.
Yeah,
that seems like the 2 that Max would blink to, and that's where I was going to go through. Is he in that way? Is he
give you a Fred Sanford? Now you got it.
Yeah, I think. What would you say? Like I said, EP or EJ?
Yeah, EP, and you nailed the EP right on. Of like, there'll be a demon fear, not so much about the letters, because that I'm really seeing with the letters. Yeah, the letters and the functions, the S and the N, that people can grow, in their letters but you can't fake the needs. Like, hey, Max, you want to be sat down and talk about the same thing every day only and keep perfecting the same thing for 20 years. Like, okay, I got to break out. I got to do something new.
Yeah.
Like that human need is what really busts through. And so we go after the human needs more. So seeing Max's EP, and then what you're saying about the EJ, it's everybody has the feeling of I'm not good enough. We'll see this a lot with the IPs when they swing into their kind of like demon EJ state. It's more like the EJ is more like, I'm not allowed to have my opinion. And like, if you use that phrase for the demons, I'm not allowed to gather. Like, there's 2 green shirts sitting on my nightstand, and I'm like, thank you for these shirts, Shan. She's like, you ordered them months ago, jackass. They've just been sitting on the table. I've now moved them to your side. I'm like, I still have to like get used to them being around like a stray dog that I want to attack and kill until it becomes known, and then I'll try it on. It's like, I'm not allowed. She went on vacation, or she went down to LA, and I was home alone for a couple of days. I'm like, I allowed myself to go to Best Buy and get a stereo because I haven't updated my stereo since the fucking 90s. And it's like, I'm not allowed to gather, not allowed to control, not allowed to say my opinion if I'm an EJ. not allowed to ask the tribe for help if I have an IP. We have these like barriers in our minds that are like built into our genetics, and we blame it on the fucking Democrats or some goddamn thing.
Or your mom, or your fucking brother, or your everything. Fuck.
And you're like, Dick, you're allowed to narrow down. You're allowed to be good enough or whatever. So the EJ fear is they're not allowed to have permission. They're not allowed to feel good. Like there's a joke meme where there's literally an EJ girl yelling at another EJ girl, like, take the fucking compliment. You know, that's like the EJs, like they're never feeling like they're allowed to cash in for themselves, or they're good enough where the IPs would be like, they have the problem on the other swing, you know?
Oh, so, God, please let me know I'm good enough. I am already good enough. I haven't shown anything that tells me that I'm good enough, but you gotta let me know.
Right, there you go, right. That's the DI. It's like already starting with that, and then there's a crash later.
Well,
like,
the
hey, where's
EJ is doing everything in their goddamn power to be good enough, but they never think they are, so they keep going on the goddamn treadmill.
Right, exactly. So it's not like, oh, I have. That's like, hey, what is the person's largest life thing? Not like, hey, do you feel that way every once in a while? We all do, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing with Max. He's like, his biggest thing that he's not trying to process on every fucking show is, you know, hey, I'm accepted. Am I accepted? Am I good enough? Like, there'll be some of that sprinkled in there, like anybody, but it's like, it's more of like calm with the tribe. And then also he knows his opinion. He knows his opinion. He knows his point of view. He doesn't need to ask fucking permission.
Or even express it all the time. I don't even need to express it. You know, it's like, okay, I know what I believe, so fuck it. You know, I may not say it.
You don't got to answer to the tribe. Yeah, you don't got to answer to the tribe. You're not savior DE. You don't got to explain yourself to them. If they want to know, they can fucking ask you. Yeah, that's DI.
Yeah.
Yep. Damn. So that's me.
Yeah.
No, EP
so the Myers-Briggs would be EP. It'd be SEFI savior. So the ESFP function stack, same function stack as me and Shan. We just have different order. So SEFI, ESFP, and then I think consume play. Yeah, consume play.
Which is
if you were to throw that in there, because you guys are both you guys are play idiots. Where you're like, you know, you're not coming from a deep processed. I was up all night settling all the math for myself, and now I'm going to mumble it to the tribe. It's more of like, let's bounce these ideas off together. Let's throw chaos at each other. Let's talk out and formulate the ideas as we go. Play energy.
Well, we do a lot. We do a lot of improv. A matter of fact, I don't know if you saw the Earthling music stuff I do. I do a lot of improv comedy. I run an improv group here, and I do improv music comedy.
Yeah.
And that seems play like basically outward oriented, like back and forth. But
yes.
So like I do a lot of that, but I also, goddamn, I can sit in my chair and just stare at I can literally.
Yeah,
get deep in my own head. So where are we at? All right, so we got Brett, which is ESFP or FP.
ESFP, yeah, double masculine. I saw some videos of Brett. He's fucking huge, fucking buff, like built. You know, not skinny.
Well, that was when I was heavier.
Yeah, but you're not fucking Kevin Bacon. You're not Bill Gates. Like we see with the NTPs, for example. A lot of them, not all of them, but they have a skinnier, frail.
So body type applies to it as well.
Oh, huge! That's interesting. Fucking huge. Yeah, big time.
Interesting. I don't know if you've seen anything of me. Have you checked the Earthling stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen Cruise Control too. What he looks like.
You've seen the Earthling stuff? You checked that out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the site. I wasn't able to get to the site today, but yeah. Yeah,
it's not up anymore, but that's
right.
A story. You can connect the dots on that one. Anyway,
so yeah, with Jeff, I'm seeing same thing, double decider, observer, but then also where I think Jeff has got a lot of punching power is that masculine TI, where it's like there's a lot of energy going on of like, because feminine FI or like FI is a pretty easy function to manage. Just like, hey, I'm feeling good. Cool. Well, moving on my way. Hey, some dumb ideas. The demon TE, great ideas. Oh, well, moving on my way. Yeah. The masculine TI is like, fuck, I got to figure this out. I got to make this work. I got to understand this. I got to put this all together. This is tied to my identity. I can't do it wrong. I don't want to do it wrong. It's got to be done right. There's got to be a right way. What's the ultimate? You're like, fuck, turn that thing off. Go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also like, I also have to do it to help make sure I don't piss off anybody else in the goddamn tribe, because I'm always fucking
Hey, before we're gonna several days leading up to this interview, I got text messages and phone calls and all kind. Even today, yet, man. Okay, this is what I want to do, man. This is going to be my outline. All right, this is what I'm going to run through. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right.
right. I think a lot of that's coming from the masculine TI of really trying to structure it. It's well, inner monologue will be a big one. So like Jeff, do you have a hard time like arguing, trying to go to sleep, like talking in your head, stuff like that?
You already know the answer
fuck
to
does.
that. Oh my god, dude! I'll create fucking arguments. I'll have my. All right. I'm preparing for a piss off argument with these people who don't agree with me politically that I'm in a group with. So I have to go in there and deal with that because I know it might come up. So I have to prepare myself for if they do that. So I will get ready to prepare that argument for them if it happens. And I'm not saying it will or not, but if they come at me with the woke bullshit, hey, you got white privilege, I have an argument
right. Yeah, it's intense, man. It's a lot of work. Where me and Jeff would be like, I'm just gonna turn some music on, feel good, have a drink, and go to sleep.
Yeah,
we can shut that up
a little bit more. I do not shut. It's never shut up. It's never.
You're right, because that's his big thing. He's always
but the music though, like I'm really, I that's why I'm really, that's pretty much my biggest wonder is, am I FI or TI? Because I feel like I have to have a reason for what I like.
That right there, that's masculine savior TI. And both of you guys, and this would be more for Jeff, both of you guys are feminine feelings. And then Jeff, you're feminine feeling demon, extroverted, which means you got a little fucking schoolgirl inside of you that all of a sudden will feel vulnerable or hurt or upset, or all of a sudden, like, you'll see somebody else in pain and then you'll be washed with feelings. You're in the middle of trying to solve the fucking equations to go to the moon with your goddamn TI in this like massive logic process, and all of a sudden you're washed with these emotions that came from the tribe. Like, that's a hell of a lot to deal with from people we talk to, where you've got the movable feelings that can come on all of a sudden, then you lose that clarity of thought,
But I walk into a room and I fucking feel Brett, I've told you this for decades, literally. I'm not joking. I can feel like when people are in a bad mood.
Oh yeah, you pick it up. They'd almost call you an empath.
And you talk about responsibility. I feel it's my responsibility to fix that.
Yes, that's FE. That's FE. That's what FE is. Now, it's not a savior, but you still have it in the middle. That's exactly what it does. Is that like so? For example, me and Max. Yeah. With the TE, it's like if we see a bunch of people arguing, we'll be like, "Oh, that guy, he's got the better idea." I'm not going to say nothing, but that guy over there, I can see he's got the better idea.
Yeah, like I'm on board with him, man. Fuck the other guy.
Right, exactly. Where FE is doing that emotionally. So for me and Max, like, we'll be walking into a room and metaphorically speaking, we'll have our headphones on, listening to our own song. I'm feeling good today, or maybe I'm feeling bad today. Fuck you. Like that's I used to get my ass.
I don't give a shit what everyone else is feeling.
Exactly, because I'm drowning in my own emotions, good or bad. They're fucking mine. Fuck you.
Or if somebody fucks up your shit, like let's say you're having a bad day and somebody wants to make conversation and be happy and jolly and shit, and you're just like, oh fuck, that's the last goddamn thing I want to hear right now.
Right,
just
exactly.
Go fuck away.
Exactly, because for me and Max, it's our emotions are introverted. They're tied to our identity. Fuck you. They don't move. Poor Jeff over there, like he's gonna be pulled away and see and feel the emotions of everybody else, and then feel obligated to work that out. But then the TI's gonna come in, and and now you're like, well, I have this great idea. It's gonna piss everybody off. Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Or also the other thing is I use that TI to dissect the fuck out of everybody, so I know what the fuck everyone's doing, so I can fucking manage it. I want to give you an example of what TI might, or whatever, like managing people. Like, okay, this person's not going to be up at this time, so I will be quiet at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like not mitigating bullshit. Like if I can plan ahead and go, oh, I know this person's going to get pissed off about this. If I do this, they're not going to be pissed off at all. We just destroyed that, right? Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because
use your strategic TI, like use that fucking strategy to fucking manipulate other people in a not in a fucking mean, but just to stop the bullshit. Just the efficiency, keep it going, like the fun, the vibe, the good overall.
So that's what you don't want. You want to break the harmony, is what,
I
what you're
can't
saying.
stand it, man. If someone's in a bad mood in a fucking room, I can't stand it.
I just get away from them. I'm like, all right, you be pissed off over there, man.
No,
I'm
or you'll compartmentalize. You'll go, all right, the guy's pissed off over there, but I can be over here in this part of the room.
Yeah, I'm doing my
fucking room. I'm like, I can't. I'll have to get out of the fucking room. Fuck out of the fucking room. I just I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to need. It's gonna intrude on everything that I'm trying to fucking do.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. It's intense. Imagine somebody who has Savior FE at the top, like how much they are affected by the like. Think of the church lady. As annoying as that those types are, like you come around and bother you. Oh, how are you? Like, dude, get the fuck out. Be like, they're obligated to make sure everybody's feeling okay. Like you're just feeling it a little bit with Demon FE in the middle. Imagine if that shit was on crack on a fucking Savior. You really could feel. It's like getting in touch with that. Like all of a sudden you can empathize with your enemies. You can empathize with people that are totally fucking nuts. You have no idea what the hell's wrong with them. Like, oh shit, this is what they're actually going through.
You can see the people that you hate, like the people that you're in a conflict with. Like, shut up.
That was a Freudian slip, which kind of brings me to something else. Because Cruise Control talks about, like all the things that make me mad, like whatever it is, it's always centered around people. Somebody did this shit. Whereas with Cruise Control, it's more things, they just got computer.
Well, I make everything into a thing. That's why.
Yeah. So that's what all observers do. EPs, IJs, we all, we're like, people, whatever. Let's talk about the thing. So yeah, with Jeff, I'm seeing the big thing with you is the powerful masculine TI Savior with feminine FE demon in the middle. And then also seeing the same thing you're seeing, Jeff, with the NI and the SE, where it's like same with Max as well. It's like I'm seeing you do both. Like look at the last hour or so. It's like we're talking about a lot of facts. We're talking about a lot of a shit scatter of information all over the place. And then what? It's all coming down to the same concept of like, all right, so how do we all understand this personality and the interwork? So we're all playing the NI game. We're all trying to get this down and hone in this invisible personal understanding of the NI patterns of psychology by throwing a bunch of SE shit at the wall. The thing to look for would not be, is the NI, are you doing NI more or SE more? It would be, are you a channel changer or not? That would be the thing to look for. Is your brain obligated to be like, okay, I've looked at this point of view for 4.5 minutes now. I need to jump and look at another point of view. And that's going to be the OE, whether that's SE or NE, that's going to be the channel changing. So I'd say look for that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that. The channel changer. I don't think Cruise Control does either.
No, you totally do. You like new shit, man. Because think about it. Like you're willing to learn new stuff. I will try to avoid learning new shit at all costs.
I don't know, man. There's some times that certain shit just gives me anxiety, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to like learning how to cook. It took me forever to learn how to cook, man. Steve had to come over and he's like, okay, I'm bringing a pork roast and you're cooking it. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I've cooked a fucking pork roast before.
but that's part of your growth as well. Like that's the whole point.
But I got to be forced to do shit sometimes, man. I'm just not this malleable dude who just rolls with it. There's times when, there's something
you're routine ranger, man. You have your routines. I get you.
Exactly. Like I don't like things to break my routine. So if you want me to start doing some new shit, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't know. Oh, man.
I think it depends on what new shit you're talking about, right? I guess that's the whole point. Is like, what new shit is he going to expose to? Like people new shit, I think it's all the time. I think that's the whole point. Is that people new shit? You're comfortable with the new shit with people, but your routine is set up because you live in the same house. You're never moving from that place.
Right.
No.
Well, that's it. I don't like change in a lot of cases.
You like change with people, but not with things. Like me, I don't know. I don't know if that's a different.
Well, that's interesting because there's a guy at work who's in a band, and he's going to be playing out this. Where he's playing is way the fuck out there, man, at a golf course. And he's like, dude, my band's going to be playing there Friday night. You should come check it out, man. It's going to be bar and food and all. And at first I went, okay, that sounds cool. But as I thought about it more, I'm like, well, but what if I get stuck out there with no ride? And what if other shit happens? And it's kind of a difficult area. And I was a little bit. And so today when I saw him, he told me it was moved to June 18th. And I was actually kind of relieved. I'm like, oh, good. You know? So yeah, there is some shit that scares me sometimes, man.
Of course, we all have that. And it is getting close to 8:30. I don't know if you're willing to hang out for a little while longer.
Yeah. It's not a hard time. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Oh, fuck okay. Yeah, dude. Sweet. Are you up to hang for long, Brett?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Brett Max.
Man,
Brett
this
Max.
motherfucker.
Brax.
You know what?
You Brax.
Dave's done so much of a better job of remembering my shit. And you keep fucking it up, and you've known me for years.
That's absolutely true. And I'm going to blame it on my mother because when I was 4.
Okay.
And that's a good segue into the other subject that I wanted to bring up, which is actually one of the main reasons why I like what you're doing is the if you have a few minutes more about the child adult transformation and the hero's journey.
Oh,
like what the reason why I like this system so much is because it gives you a clear example of what you can do for yourself. And I'm going to take a moment to talk about what it's done for me, like realizing that my SE, like my sphere of shit is just weird, like really fucking weird. Because like a simple example, I have plastic cups, even though I have regular cups that I could wash.
Well,
like Brett, you're like, oh, I don't get what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe.
Well, actually, no, I'm laughing because check this out. I get upset when people use my plastic cups. Because those are my dip cups.
But yeah, you
know what I'm saying?
You have a reason for that, dude.
I want you to use my glass cups.
I'm talking about like I do weird fucking shit with things. Like I do weird shit. Like I don't have I've told you before. I don't. I'm just like being honest because I want people to realize that this stuff could help people. I don't have any knives sharper than a butter knife in my house.
Oh wow.
Because I cut myself when I cut myself when I lived with you.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Yep. Chaos. It's a sharp object.
And right away you remember that and you say, "Oh, I don't want that shit again."
Why do I hate babies? Because they're fucking small, and if I happen to hold the baby wrong, no. You want me to hold your baby? If it's 2. We can hang out. If 2 or older, I love kids, man.
Actually, babies scare me too, but it's maybe not for the same reason. I'm just afraid they're gonna shit on me or puke on me or something like that. Man. I have a real thing about puke, man. I can talk about disgusting shit all day.
Yeah.
But the minute I smell puke or hear someone puke, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. But you see that kind of stuff when you realize. Like, okay, you are way too into your goddamn head and you have to get out of that and exercise more and like exercising even little things like you guys talk about small steps to get to this point. And it's not like a hero's journey is a one thing, like your life. It's like little things, little parts of your life are hero's journeys, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So explain how you guys incorporated that into the system because that's really cool.
Yeah, totally. That's the most important stuff in my opinion because it's like we kind of fell into this shit all randomly and like it was a roller coaster ride of highs and lows and like so it was really cool to like see that we were able to start to track this personality stuff and be able to get the same type as each other and start to log these in data sets. So this is all really cool and then we start to realize okay, we now have 15 guys that are all the exact same type as me and they look like me. They got the thick eyebrows, the thick hair, dark hair, tall, skinny. Andrew Garfield, actor, he's the same type as me. Same kind of a dopey goofosaur kind of a freak, you know. Somebody just want to like throw a book at his head or something. and so it's kind of like cool and interesting to be like, wow, there's people out there like me. And then in the Balki Bartokomous from that old TV show of the 80s.
Oh, Balki.
That guy. Yeah.
Oh, God.
yeah. Same type as me. So it's like, it's really cool. And then you start to see what was his name? Pierce Bronson or Balki Bartokomous. Like you start to see like how people of your same type live their life. And you're like, wow, they got divorced for the same reason I got divorced. Oh, they're addicted to the same shit I'm addicted to. Oh, they are in trouble with the IRS just like I'm in trouble. Wait a minute. And so like you start to see that they are destroying their life in a carbon copy way that I'm destroying my life. Now, what's weird is that I wasn't destroying my life. I'm a victim here because I can blame the government. I can blame my mom. I can blame you. I can, blame the neighbor. Like, so I have all of these layers of bullshit of why my life is turning out this way. And then you watch videos of 15 other people of your exact same type that look like you, that are all saying the same shit. They all make the same fucking excuses. They have the same bad jokes. They have the same fear of the government. It's like the Truman Show. It's like I'm looking at a bunch of actors. I'm like, this is fake. And then it's like this, it's like you can feel like your brain like kind of break, where like it sends you, and this is what a lot of people are reporting, it's not just us, like you go into a weird kind of a deep sleep, like you literally you have these weird dreams because you feel your brain like it's like you got me, and like you feel like stuff like your brain kind of like cracking or scarring or whatever, because it's like, because like when you're growing up, like you have these problems in life and you get little glimmers where everybody gathers around and says, you know what, you're actually the shithead. You're like, okay, you got me. I'm sorry. I'm the one that threw the rock at the school bus. That was me. And you have that feeling of remorse and, okay, that was me. But then quickly your brain heals that and that goes away and you go back to happy land. Imagine like being in that state and it never goes away, where you're like, oh my God, I get it. I get why Adolf Hitler did what he did. Like, I understand. I am Adolf Hitler. It's like the Bible, Apostle Paul. I'm the worst of the worst. No, like Jordan Peterson talks about this. Like, no, I would be the one killing Jews. I'm a couple steps away. Like you start, like all your fake.
So everything compounds and becomes an obsession.
Wow. Yeah. And once you start, and a lot of times people will see it. This is what a lot of people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, they'll have the same kind of psychological, like especially like Mike Tyson, like somebody who's like doing a lot of shit in life, taking the world head on, and then by the time he's 50 he realizes, wait a minute, I'm the asshole. Like, so a lot of people that are living full blast in life, they'll have this realization. So this code is just a nice little tool. You still need a lot of heat. Yeah,
it's just a fucking tool, and people just need to realize that all you're doing is offering another way to get to the point of being a more complete person. And so you're not offering the tool. It's not the fucking tool. It's a tool. If you want to use it, click on the website. If not, fuck off.
Right. Yeah, so it's basically, you can use it. It doesn't have to be biblical, but it's a nice theory and it works. You know what I'm saying? For you guys.
Yeah, it's simple as hell. And here it is, everything for free right here. It's consciousness and responsibility. It's like, if you're there, you go. There's your NI. If you want to do all the fucking math equations of all this bullshit, it comes down to consciousness and responsibility, which can be defined in the archetype of the identity of the child and the adult. The child is very unconscious and they ain't fucking responsible. The adult is very conscious of this, and this, and they're fucking responsible. And you see this happening in life every time you got a new relationship or move houses or take on a new job, or now you're a manager. Like, you're growing in consciousness and responsibility and you're leveling up. And then that's playing out in the tribe. Because you're not just your DI selfish ass self, that's the true me inside. And like, no, you are also your extroverted identity. And this is shocking news to us three selfish DIs. It's like, hey, we're also your demon FE, where you care about everybody else, or your TE bullshit go along. Like, that's also who we are in the tribe. Like, out of 100 people, am I the dope? Am I the clown? Am I the leader? Am I the counselor? Like, who am I according to 100 people that I live with? Where do I sit in this school of people on average? So that fucking matters, And so this stuff, it just helps you kind of see a little bit more of, okay, I now have the consciousness of my game is going to be this. I am when it comes to control and chaos, I'm going to blame the government. That's honestly a thing that a lot of observers literally do.
Or the mainstream media.
Yes. Which is controlled by the fucking government, unless you don't know what's going on here.
Oh, you're. Hey, wait. We can debate that. We can debate that, Dave.
Well, actually, my thing is always corporation.
Exactly.
Corporate America.
Corporate America. The vague fucking thing that's out there that's gonna fuck you over, right?
Exactly. And so it's not. So you leave it alone. Of course, it's true. Of course, the government, of course, but you take that fucking fear and you dial it down by 99%. You're still allowed to be upset, corporate greed and fucking aliens, all that shit. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be triggered all day long, but you're not allowed anymore in the new world to take shit to a level 10. We set standards. This is where quickly, it's like consciousness, responsibility, that leads to child and adult. And then your tool, your sword of the spirit, biblically speaking, is standards, goals, promises. I'm not allowed have a standard. This is just a personal thing. This is funny as fuck. If Barack Obama is not stressed out, then I'm not stressed out. If Gary Vaynerchuk is not stressed out, then I'm not stressed out. If Tony Robbins is not stressed out about fucking aliens, then I'm not stressed out. Like, I'm outsourcing my fears to people that are double observers, and I'm watching them. Because if you watch me, I'm gonna freak out at the weirdest things, and I'm gonna run myself off the same old clip that fucking Balky Bartakovich does, and I'm fucking done doing that.
Yeah.
So
so let them worry for you, kind of thing, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm pinging off
fucking
of the
great,
tribe.
Brett, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them do the worrying for you. Like, all right, man, they're gonna handle that shit. Good. Well, you know, and I guess I'm kind of the same way in that sense too. Like, if it's something political, I'm like, well, I hope fucking Trump wins. But hey, they get to fight that out, not me, man.
But the point is, like, and I've been letting that go a lot more. Like, it's amazing if you just kind of stop watching as much, just kind of cut down on all that bullshit, because you'll get yourself in this, especially like myself. I guess I don't know. What do you say? INTP, or you think I'm more identity fear of identity, or fear of control and chaos?
I'd say you got observer. You're an observer, and you've got the NFJ slash STP function. So you got SE, FE. So you'd be either INFJ or ESTP.
Wow.
And I'd say look for the gather and the channel changing to figure out which side is up, because you're going to have both the SE and the NI, like you're seeing.
Yeah. So the sleep consume. Interesting.
Yeah.
SE and yeah, you're right, dude. I wait, Dave. Are you saying I can be an INFJ?
I don't know. You got to be pretty special.
No, Max, I don't know if you know this, but the INFJ is the most unique
it's all bullshit.
Type in the world.
So you're that guy.
Don't listen to him, Max. That's just censored bullshit he read off the internet.
Of course. and that's probably his, like, you know, you're trying to rationalize fucked up behavior, you know?
No. That's me being bullshitting, because you see it all the time. The INFJ. The counselor, like, who gives a shit? The types don't matter. It's the fucking functions and how they relate to you. It's your four main functions, and those you don't have. And so how do you relate to other people with those fucking functions, and can complete and build up the functions that you suck at.
Yeah, right.
That's
exactly.
That's all it is.
Right. Otherwise, you're bragging about a disorder.
Bullshit.
You're bragging about I'm scared of this fear, not that fear. Like, hey, shut up about that. Like, quickly run to being more well-rounded.
Right.
You know,
as opposed to, I'm a schizophrenic, man. That's just me. I hear voices that people don't hear.
Exactly, man.
You know.
Oh man, this has been a great fucking evening. So.
Yeah. No, I've had a blast, Dave. Man, let's get your website and YouTube.
Yeah, all your information, man.
Yeah, I'd say the YouTube. Start with the YouTube. We got more fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
What is it? Dave Superpowers, or do Objective Personality in YouTube, and then just have fun watching some of the fucking videos.
Nice.
Do you guys I assume you guys get the extra videos that you put at the end of your videos, the little snippets and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You guys just grab those out of the internet and just
and then YouTube
really
fucking busts our balls on how
do they?
Yeah.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Yeah, we don't have our channel moderated or monetized, so we're like, fuck you.
Oh man, of course, yeah.
Well, that's why we don't have ours monetized either.
That's because we're just doing this because we're doing it.
Right.
You want to ride along? That's great. And the great thing about it, one other thing I want to talk about before we go is about the hero's journey. Is about the aspect of giving. And the simple act of just doing things for the fuck of it, like, hey, opening a door, or like promoting your shit, like it just feels so good, and it's so easy to do.
Yeah,
it's such a simple way to kind of.
You're starting to get like me, man. You're doing shit because it feels good.
No, but you deny it, Max. That's the problem. You've been fighting it, like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like to help people, and that you continue to do.
No. That's wrong, man. I like networking, and I like turning people onto things and all that other shit, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So I'm pulling myself out of my own asshole, which is part of the growth thing. That's what I'm talking about, is kind of giving. But I'm talking just for the sake of it. Like, it's a really interesting concept. Like, just not caring. Like, hey, it doesn't take anything away from you. Like, I think that's part of the weird aspects of our society, or whatever. Are people think, oh, if I just freely open a door and someone walks by and doesn't say thank you, then they've slighted me, or like,
Yeah.
you know, like little things like that. Like, I don't know if you want to go into that a little bit, like
No,
aspect
totally,
of
man.
giving.
It's like the giving thing, man. It's a weird kind of energy. It's such a conundrum circle. And Gary Vaynerchuk's been one of the best guys we've ever watched over the years of just some badass guy in New York, which is super loving, like will punch you in the face over I care about you, you know. But it's a weird thing that
Yeah.
reminds me of dating. Like if you're in a desperate, needy state, it automatically turns the girl off. And then once you're like, fuck you, I don't really need anybody, like all of a sudden everybody's attracted to you. And
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah. Oh, that's good.
right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then
or
once,
even
once
like
you,
with jobs, like if you're looking for a job,
Yes,
you're like this
yes.
hungry motherfucker.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna want to work. You know that nobody's gonna want to hire you.
that
But
fucking
then when you
that
have
shit.
the, I don't give a shit anymore. Yeah,
Fuck
if I get
yeah.
the job, I get the job. Then all of a sudden you wind up getting it. It's crazy.
that kind of stuff. That
I've
totally
experienced that, man. I've experienced those same things. You know,
Totally right, Brax. Totally right, Brax.
So I think it's like that. I think when a person, and it's a choice. Here's another thing, like brain
Yeah.
science. Everybody, like, hey, you don't even have to fucking feel it. You're allowed to fake it to get started. Like when you start to choose, I'm gonna just start giving to people, even though I don't have a lot. And like you just start giving love or opening the door or do nice things for
Yeah.
them. Like it starts a wheel of this weird. I don't want to say it's so NF because it is trackable. You can track that. You can track that in your life. That like
Yeah.
it's a measurable thing. You're seeing the same pattern. Like if I have this state about a job or did, like this is the result. Why are you seeing the same thing? There's some trackability there, you know.
Yeah,
So
not NF woo, which is NF is the woo, Max, which is like the fucking woo. Oh, the fucking I stand in the grass and feel the earth fill the fruit, like
somebody who's just way opposite.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because it does. Like there's just a
Well,
feel-good
you know, it
thing
depends
about
on how
just-
you feel, man. You know, like, you know, when I was kind of a fuck the world type dude, you know, and just hated everybody and everything, you know, that's all I got in return was fuck you back.
I know, right?
As I started to, you know, open up and be cool with people. And then it was like, hey, look, man, you know, things you actually meet some, you know, cool people.
And when you hit that bottom, man, Brett, like one of your bottoms was in 2011, you bounced back and you've learned so much from that because you've got a lot of in my
That
opinion,
bottom was for a few years, man. It was like a couple years, like 3 or 4.
But in my opinion, man, it balanced you out a lot more than I have been bounced out over the years.
Like, but that was a lot of bouncing, man. A lot of balance.
Yeah, but you have to hit that shit to kind of pull yourself out of it, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to hit that wall, man. And somebody has to, when people start telling you shit about yourself and you're like,
yeah,
really? You know, kind of like when we were roommates and I was having trouble finding work and you guys were like, you know, you used to tell me, man, you were an asshole at one point. And, you know, then something happened that kind of changed me a little bit and I was kind of a different dude. So, you know, it just depends on what's happening with
you. And the bitch part about it is it's not like there's one journey. Like you can't get onto a mountain and you're like, I'm done. It never fucking stops.
Right. This is still your journey. This is still going on.
This is your life. It's going to be constant fucking heroes' journeys.
Yep.
Until you die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, what a way to end this shit off.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Dave, man, again, thanks for coming on. And
absolutely, man.
We got, you know, I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface. I don't know about you, Cruise Control, but I think we got to have him back at some point.
Oh yeah. If you're welcome to come back anytime, man.
Yeah, guys, totally. And we're up the street here in where are we? We're in fucking Wilsonville. And I mentioned to Jeff, you know, maybe in the summer or sometime we could meet a fucking Kaiser In-N-Out. The best fucking burger place. You guys been to In-N-Out?
Oh, we got an In-N-Out out here. I'm in Vegas, so yeah, there's a.
Oh, you're in Vegas? Oh shit, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. No, I see. Cruise Control's in Eugene, and I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
So this is. He used to live out here way back in the day, and then moved to Eugene in 2012. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. But
I say some Voodoo Donuts, motherfucker.
Oh,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Voodoo Donuts, Eugene, Oregon. They're all around Portland area. Even though Portland, I'm gonna duck.
Portland's a little scary right now, but I'm sure.
Watch yourself there. It's lovely. Anyways, this has been the Nothing Sacred conversation. I think you guys have gotten a lot out of this. Once again, Objectivepersonality.com. Don't order that pizza tonight. Grab some self growth tools.
Self-awareness.
Exactly. Seriously. No, and other awareness.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then check it out. So we'll be checking you out soon. Once again, I am Cruise Control.
And I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And
that's the story there, bitches.
It's the cult of personality. The cult of personality.
Thanks again, Dave.
Yeah.
We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Maxwell Silverhammer.
We are nothing sacred. With Cruise Control.